Ms. Vaughn, in this case, we do have the Honorable Jeff White representing some respondents who have been cited by publication. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And Mr. White, who do you represent in this matter?
Susan Reynolds, Keith Bush, Charlotte Bush, Rhonda Lynn, Warren Sheet.
So Susan Reynolds, Keith Bush, Charlotte Bush, and Rhonda Sheet. So the only one you don't represent is Jackie D. Warren. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. So let's go ahead and talk about the due diligence that the plaintiffs have conducted in trying to locate and provide personal service to your clients.
Okay, Your Honor, my understanding that 3 of the people, with the exception of Susan Reynolds, have all been deceased. I had spoken with Michelle Snyder, who is present, at least on the screen.
Yes, sir.
And she went over in greater detail on the things that she did to try to locate Mr. Reynolds. I also have the affidavit of due diligence in front of me right now, which was provided to me by Ms. Snyder. And I believe that they have gone through all of the reasonable processes that would find Ms. Reynolds in the event that she was capable of being found. I would draw to the court's attention, this is not the same Susan Reynolds who may have been in your court recently. This is a person who is 61 years old.
All right. Thank you for that, Mr. White. Do you believe that the plaintiffs have exercised all due diligence in trying to locate the clients that the court has appointed you to represent?
I believe they have, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Brand, you've announced to the court that you are intervening in this case. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And who do you represent?
We represent the county, Van Zandt County.
And Ms. Vaughn, any objection to the intervention of Van Zandt County?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right. And Ms. Vaughn, if you'll tell me about the has Miss is it Mr. or Mrs. Jackie D. Warren?
I believe it's a Mr. Jackie D. Warren, Your Honor. He filed a disclaimer with the court April the 20th of 2016.
All right. So he was served with personal process?
Yes, sir.
The court will take judicial notice of the disclaimer filed by Jackie D. Warren. Court finds that Mr. Warren has made an appearance with that disclaimer, and the court then finds that it has jurisdiction and that all provisions of notice have been met, and we'll go ahead and move forward. Go ahead, Ms. Vaughn.
In this case, Your Honor, we would offer Plaintiff's Exhibit 1, an affidavit of due diligence prepared by Michelle Snyder. We would also offer Plaintiff's Exhibit 2, a certified tax affidavit for the Athens Independent School District.
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection.
All right, court admits Exhibits 1 and 2 into the evidence. Anything else, Ms. Vaughn?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Brand?
Yes, Your Honor. We would introduce interveners Exhibit A and B, which are respectively a certified tax statement showing taxes due and owings and an affidavit of fees showing certain fees collectible under the property tax code.
Any objection, Ms. Vaughn?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection, Mr. White?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then the court admits interveners Exhibits A and B into evidence. Anything further, Mr. Brand or Ms. Vaughn?
Nothing from the interveners.
Nothing
All
from
right. Go. I'm sorry, Ms. Vaughn, I cut you off. Go ahead.
Nothing from the plaintiff, Your Honor.
And Mr. White, you've indicated to the court that based on reviewing the affidavit of due diligence and your own work in the case and trying to locate the respondents, Keith Bush, Charlotte Bush, and Rhonda Lynn Warren Sheets, that you believe all these individuals to be deceased?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Then the court finds that all necessary parties have been included in the suit. Court does have jurisdiction over this matter. Court, based on the evidence presented herein, finds that the petitioners have met all requisites of law and hereby grants the relief requested and grants judgment in favor of the plaintiffs and intervener. Do I have a proposed order e-filed, Ms. Vaughn?
Yes, Your Honor, we've provided a statement of evidence, a proposed judgment, as well as an order for ad litem fees and a certificate for last known mailing address.
Okay, and that's already been submitted?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, then let's move on to Mr. White's second case. That is T18-00076, Athens Independent School District in Henderson County versus Blankenship, Donald Joyce, Danny York, Deborah Geiger, Donna Stone, and Linda Tompkins. And Mr. White, who do you represent in this matter?
Donald Blankenship, Joyce Blankenship, Deborah Geiger, and Linda Tompkins.
And Ms. Vaughn, have Danny York and Donna Stone been served with process?
I'm sorry, yes, Your Honor. Danny York was personally served and a Jeff Butler filed an answer on his behalf. Mr. Butler called our office around lunchtime and indicated that he was not going to attend the hearing today and that he was just going to let us take a judgment. Donna Stone was served October the 23rd of 2019 and has not filed an answer with the court.
Do you want Danny York's name called in the courthouse?
I don't think it's necessary, Your Honor, but it's up to you.
All right, it's your petition, so I'll let you drive the boat on that. All right, so, and then Mr. White, tell me about the due diligence exercised by the plaintiff on your case.
Once again, Judge, I was provided an affidavit of due diligence where they went through a number of things that they used to try to find actually Deborah Geiger and Linda Tompkins. Their research found that Donald and Joyce Blankenship are both deceased. I was not able to find Deborah Geiger or Linda Tompkins, and I believe that they did everything they possibly could to try to reasonably find these people and just were unable to. And I don't think there was anything else they could reasonably be expected to do.
And you believe the service by publication is sufficient to give your clients notice?
I believe so in this situation, yes.
Okay. All right. Then the court, upon reviewing the file, finds that Donald Blankenship, Joyce Blankenship, Deborah Geiger, and Linda Tompkins have been served by citation by publication, that the court has appointed the Honorable Jeff White to represent their interests, and finds that the plaintiff has exercised all due diligence necessary to give notice to those individuals. Court will find that Mr. Danny York has been served and has made an appearance by answer, has failed to appear today in the courtroom as scheduled. And the court will find that Donna Stone has been served with a personal process, but has not filed an answer in this matter and has defaulted. Go ahead, Ms. Vaughn.
In this case, Your Honor, we would offer Plaintiff's Exhibit 1, a copy of the notice of trial that was sent to Mr. Butler. Plaintiff's Exhibit 2, affidavit of due diligence prepared by Michelle Snyder, and Plaintiff's Exhibit 3, a certified tax affidavit for Athens ISD.
Any objections, Mr. Brand?
No objection.
Any objection, Mr. White?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. Vaughn, I failed to ask you, is there any objection to the intervention of Van Zandt County?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then the court admits plaintiff's exhibits 1, 2, and 3. Anything further, Ms. Vaughn?
No, Your Honor.
Any exhibits, any evidence to offer on behalf of Van Zandt County, Mr. Brand?
Your Honor, we'd offer exhibit what has been marked as Exhibit A and B.
All right, court hereby admits interveners exhibits A and B. Anything further, Mr. Brand?
Nothing from the interveners, Your Honor.
All right, then based on the evidence before the court finds that it does have jurisdiction over this matter, that all requisites of law and notice have been met. Court finds that based on the evidence, the petitioner should prevail, and the court hereby grants the relief requested and will sign the judgment. Anything further in this case, Ms. Vaughn?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. White, I don't think I've announced in either case, but you know it's customary policy of this court, unless there is some kind of objection to your attorney ad litem fees, that the court is going to find those fees to be reasonable and necessary, and will approve the payment of those. So if I fail to make that on the record, the court does make that finding for both T15-001 and T18-00076.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
I thought surely you would have stopped me to remind me to do that. But
I was just hoping you were going to put in a cost of living increase.
if I can do that, you let me know.
Not a-
Okay, so Mr. White, I believe that concludes your case. Is that correct?
That is correct, Judge.
All right, I'll go ahead and remove you from the remainder of the hearings.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
White.
Mr. White.
Uh-huh.
All right, Ms. Vaughn, any certain order you want to go in, or you may just go down my docket?
However you want to proceed, Judge.
Okay. Court calls T17-006, Athens Independent School District, Henderson County versus Betty Abendroth.
In this case, Your Honor, Miss Abendroth was served October the 9th of 2018 and has failed to file an answer or appear before the court today. We would offer Plaintiff's Exhibit 1, a certified tax affidavit for the Athens Independent School District.
No objection, Your Honor.
And Ms. Vaughn, any objection to the intervention of Van Zandt County?
No, Your Honor.
And will that announcement remain the same on the rest of the tax cases that
Yes, Your Honor.
is intervened on?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then the court will admit Plaintiff's Exhibit 1. The court will find that court does have jurisdiction over this case. Court finds that Betty Abendroth is a necessary party and has been served with citation on October 9th, 2018, has failed to file an answer and has defaulted. Court hereby grants the relief requested by the plaintiffs. Court calls T17-00161, Henderson County versus David Smith and June Harvey. Go ahead, Ms. Vaughn.
In this case, Your Honor, both defendants were served on December the 3rd of 2017 and have failed to file an answer or appear before the court today. We would offer Plaintiff's Exhibit 1, a certified tax affidavit for the Athens Independent School District.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, Plaintiff's Exhibit 1 is admitted into evidence. I'm sorry, Mr. Brand, I don't know if I gave you an opportunity earlier to admit any evidence. Did you want to admit anything in this case or in T17-106?
Sure, in both cases, we'll offer what's been previously marked as Intervenors Exhibit A and B.
All right, my apologies. T17-161, court has already admitted Plaintiff's Exhibit 1. Court hereby admits Intervenors Exhibit A and B, and also in T17-106, intervenors A and B being offered, both are admitted into evidence in that cause. Based on the evidence before the court finds that David Smith and June Harvey, respondents, have been given the opportunity through service, personal service of citation, have failed to make an appearance in court or file an answer in this case and stand in default. Court hereby grants the relief requested by the plaintiff. Court calls T18-00075, Athens Independent School District, Van Zandt County and Henderson County versus Wayne and Leah Jumper and Buffkin Properties Limited. Go ahead, Ms. Vaughn.
In this case, Your Honor, Wayne Jumper was served November the 2nd of 2018. Lee Jumper was served November the 1st of 2018. Neither of those parties filed an answer. Buffkin Partners Limited their registered agent was served October the 30th of 2018, and there was an answer filed on their behalf.
And I believe that we discussed earlier, you have not had any recent communication with Mitchell Young, attorney for Buffkin Partners?
That's correct, Your Honor. It's not just recent. We haven't had any communication with them at all.
Oh, any communication. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And did Buffkin Partners receive notice of today's hearing?
They did, Your Honor. We'd offer plaintiff's exhibit 1, a copy of the notice of trial that was sent to Mitchell Young.
No objection.
All right, plaintiff's exhibit 1 is admitted into evidence.
We would also offer plaintiff's exhibit 2, a certified tax affidavit for the Athens Independent School District.
No objection.
Thank you. Plaintiff's 2 is admitted into evidence. Anything further, Ms. Vaughn?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Brand?
We would offer in this case what has been previously marked as Exhibit A and Exhibit B.
Any objection, Ms. Vaughn?
No, Your Honor.
All right, court finds it has jurisdiction over this matter. The court finds that Wayne and Leah Jumper have been served with citation, have failed to file an answer. Court finds that Bufkin Partners LTD has made an appearance by filing an answer in this case, but has failed to appear at trial today and has received timely notice of trial. Court hereby finds that plaintiff has met the legal requisites for the granting of the relief requested, and the court grants that relief. All right, court calls T19-00047 Athens Independent School District in Henderson County versus Rita Bragg. My docket says Rita Bragg and Rita J. Bragg. Are those two different individuals, Ms. Vaughn?
No, Your Honor. It's Rita Bragg, also known as Rita J. Bragg.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
In this case, Ms. Bragg was served September the 17th of 2019 and has failed to file an answer or appear before the court today. We would offer plaintiff's exhibit 1, a certified tax affidavit for the Athens Independent School District.
No objection, Your Honor.
Plaintiff's 1 is admitted into evidence. Mr. Brand?
Your Honor, we'd offer what has been previously marked as Exhibit A and B for the interveners.
All right. Any objection, Mr. Vaughn?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Court grants or admits interveners A and B into evidence, finds that Rita Bragg has been served with notice of this suit, has failed to file an answer. Court and has also failed to make an appearance in court today. Court hereby grants the relief requested by the plaintiffs and interveners. Is that it, Ms. Vaughn?
That is it, Your Honor.
It's way too easy. Mr. Brand was in here the other day, and I think we were here for like, how long were we in here, Hannah? A long time, a lot longer than that, but maybe that was Mr.
2 hours.
Maybe that was Mr. Brown's fault. That
It was
we were
because
here.
Mr. Brown was there.
I think, yeah, he's not here to defend himself. We're gonna go with that, so. I tease. Okay, well, if there's nothing further, then I will get these judgments signed and circulated back to you as soon as possible.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Vaughn, and I'm sorry about the little miscommunication on the scheduling, and I really do appreciate you hopping on earlier than you had planned. I do appreciate that.
Uh-huh.
All right, thank you. You're welcome. Y'all have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.